Hey Pokemon fans, I'm TheJWittz, and today I've got another X and Y news report. Now I don't know how often I'm going to do these, but I figure whenever I have a strong opinion about something, I'll whip one together. They're easy to make, and it's fun to have a conversation with you guys to see what you guys think. During today's episode of Pokemon Smash, Junichi Masuda brought the news. Those images of a supposed Mewtwo Forme floating around for the new Pokemon movie? Well, they're real and confirmed as a new Pokemon. And honestly, that's all I've got for you. It's a new Pokemon. We don't know the thing's name, we don't know its type, and as far as I can tell, its attacks seem to be some of the same ones that we've already seen Mewtwo perform before, and nothing really new. So, with all this nothingness, what's there really to talk about? Well, for one, I think it's fun to speculate on exactly what this thing is. I don't even really know what to call it. In fact, it's not even specifically mentioned as Mewtwo. The English press release officially calls it a new Pokemon with an old look, which is kind of interesting. It's not necessarily saying that it's an old Pokemon with a new look, so maybe it's not a form change, and maybe it's an entirely different Pokemon. Most people seem to be in two camps. Either one, this thing is a new form of Mewtwo, or two, it's a new Pokemon altogether. And to be honest, I think I reside in that second camp. For one, now that I'm able to look at this thing's stock art, it actually looks more like its own thing rather than Mewtwo. Obviously, there's some similarities here or there, but it definitely seems like it's more clear-cut that it's something different. At least to me. Maybe you guys think entirely differently, but that's just my opinion. Also, when I first saw those posters showing that this new Mewtwo form existed, I thought it looked kinda ugly, but for some reason, now that I'm seeing it in its full body form, I think it looks better. The other reason it'd be kinda cool is because I've been talking about MewThree since 1999, all the way back when I wrote Mewtwo and Mew Strikes Back. You can actually click here if you want to see the video of me reading through that old book that I wrote, but I just find it interesting. But so far, it seems like there's a recurring theme whenever we're getting new Pokemon X and Y news. There's always a couple of bits of information that are purposely left missing. For example, the reason I didn't want to do a Sylveon video right away is because, cool, we've got Sylveon, but we have no idea what type it is. And heck, we don't even know the name of this new form. Either way, it's definitely interesting that Game Freak is doing something to call back to the original generations. They haven't done this since the 4th generation, where they started evolving a bunch of old Pokemon. For the most part, I thought this was actually a pretty good risk. Some of them took some time to get used to, and I will never like Licky Licky, but a lot of them are pretty cool, like Magnezone, Weavile, Magmortar, Electivire. I don't know, a lot of them have grown on me, and I think it's cool when they go back to the old generations because it opens a dialogue between new fans and old fans. New fans start seeing these Pokemon for the first time, and old fans can communicate with them, saying things like, oh, I know the Pokemon that one's based off of, or oh, back in my day, that one didn't evolve. I think that that's cool. Some people think it might be tarnishing the old name, but I don't know, I kind of like it when things draw back to the source material. The one thing I don't like, though, are forms. I am sick and tired of forms. Now, I know, like I said, I like the new Pokemon stuff a lot more than most original Pokemon fans do. A lot of people start feeling betrayed for some reason when stuff starts changing. To me, I'm usually open to change, but there's one thing I am getting tired of, and that is the fact that being legendary is no longer special. Now, at the past couple generations, we've been seeing 15 or more new legendary Pokemon. And on top of that, Pokemon's turned them all into Transformers. Apparently everything can turn into its new form now. We've got a Meloetta form, a Genesect form, 2 Kyurem forms, and a different form for each of those genies. I'm getting tired of forms. It's just a cheap marketing ploy so that they can make more movies, and they don't really tend to excite me. So, if you ask me, I'd rather that this new Mewtwo thing became its own new creature rather than form back on the old stuff. Anyway, those are my thoughts, but I'm curious what you guys think. Do you guys like this thing? Hate this thing? And what do you think it is? Do you think it's a new form, or do you think it's a new creature? Either way, I'll be reporting on these from time to time when I have a strong enough opinion, but thanks for listening, and stay tuned soon for new video content.